Okay.
My name is Edgar Rodriguez, and I'll be refuting the main claim of LeBron James, otherwise known as King James, is the most important active player in the NBA. First thing I want to point out, according to the CNN, the name King James was given to him before they even stepped foot on the NBA court. He has no real proof or accomplishment for him earning that name. The guy who secondary claim is the background information that background information that LeBron James attended St. Vincent St. Mary High School in Akron, Ohio, and led his team to 3 state championships: freshman year, sophomore, and senior. And that he also stated that LeBron James led the Cavaliers to the playoffs from 2006 to 2010. But he didn't show any proof that it was LeBron James was the one who took his team from high school to the 3 state championships, or that it was him who took the Cavaliers to the playoffs. And what if his school team could have made it to the state championships, or the Cavaliers could have made it to the playoffs? According to NBA.com, Cavaliers have pretty good stats and players that could have made it to the playoffs. Another secondary claim that I think is that he states is that LeBron is a top NBA player, and the reason I think he states that is because he showed a list of the top players according to the ESPN.com True Hoops Network NBA players ranking. The top 10 NBA players are the following: LeBron James, number 1; 2nd, Dwight Howard; 3, Dwayne Wade; 4, Chris Paul; 5, Dirk Nowitzki; 6, Kevin Durant; 7, Kobe Bryant; 8, Derrick Rose; 9, Darren Williams; and 10, Blake Griffin. But from ESPN.com shows that from 2009 to 2012, LeBron has been the number 1 offensive leader and is not even the top 10 in defensive assists, blocks, field goals, and steals according to ESPN stats. So it contradicts the list because the stats show that LeBron is not the top NBA player. And most of these guys, the guys have been the top leaders in defensive assists, blocks, field goals, and steals, or at least the top 10 in those categories in which LeBron has not. Another secondary claim that he lists is, according to Kevin Paulson's article, is basketballprofessors.com, a basketball player reaches his prime between 27 and 29 years old. And just in case you know what prime is, which he stated in his presentation, that prime is the most flourished stage of one's career, which he states that LeBron James is 27 and that he is in prime, and he also states from the top 10 of the previous ranking, only Darren Williams is the prime of his career. But he fails to show how LeBron is his flourished state in his career. Darren Williams has been top leader in defensive assists, blocks, field goals, and steals, or at least the top 10 in those categories in which LeBron has not, according to the stats in ESPN. Another secondary claim that he showed, that the rewards he has gotten over the years, which he listed 5 of them in it: the NBA Rookie of the Year, the NBA Scoring Champion, the NBA All-Star, All-NBA First Team, NBA Most Valuable Player. But most of the players who ESPN listed in the top 10, which he listed players like Dwight Howard, Dwayne Wade, Chris Paul, Kevin Durant, Kobe Bryant, Derrick Rose, Derrick Williams, they have gotten more awards and accomplishments according to the ESPN. Example, ESPN, NBA, and CNN, for example, Kobe Bryant has gotten the same awards that LeBron has, and additional accomplishments like his ring is one example which LeBron hasn't. So, in conclusion, LeBron is not the most important active player in the NBA.
All right, I think you need to do a little bit more previewing of the advocates' claims, and your internal signposting could be a little bit sharper, but you did a good job identifying some of the key issues that we're talking about. I didn't think that you got much out of that first press where you're talking about LeBron and where the advocate said LeBron led his high school team to consecutive championships, and he got the Cavaliers into the playoffs and to the championship game. The argument that they could have maybe done these things without LeBron, that's a complete assertion on your point, and I don't think it would be hard, for instance, to respond to this issue. Figure out how many times the Cavaliers made the playoffs before LeBron showed up, compare the number of times they've made the playoffs since he hasn't been with the Cavaliers. I think that's a pretty easy one to deal with. That I don't think you've got much to stand on that particular point. Where I think that you had the strongest arguments were on the next 2 points, though, when you're talking about the ranking of the players, and you mentioned, for instance, that LeBron is not in the top defensive categories, that the defensive categories are often the things that defines the quality of players, and he doesn't even fit in the top 10 in a lot of those categories. I do think that you want to be sure to quote that a little bit more directly. I think you're kind of giving us a summary or a paraphrase of what those statistics are, and I think it should be sharper. On the other hand, on the last point, I think you do a much better job citing the evidence, for instance, and comparing him to other players, pointing out that many of them have won the same awards. For instance, you mentioned Kobe in particular having won the exact same awards as LeBron has, and having additional awards on top of that. And I think that shows, that the award status cannot be the defining characteristic of who is the most important active player that's going on here. And I thought that you did a good job on that particular point. All right.